Scientology. The word itself evokes a myriad of emotions, from curiosity to skepticism, admiration to outright disdain. For decades, this controversial organization has been at the center of intense debate, its true nature shrouded in mystery and conflicting narratives. Is it a religion, offering spiritual enlightenment and a path to self-improvement, or is it a manipulative cult, preying on the vulnerable and exploiting its followers for financial gain? This essay delves into the heart of this contentious debate, exploring the origins, beliefs, and practices of Scientology, while examining the arguments both for and against its classification as a religion. We will navigate the complexities of its history, from its founding by science fiction writer L. Ron Hubbard, to its current status as a globally recognized, albeit often criticized, religious movement. Along the way, we will unpack the allure that Scientology holds for its celebrity adherents, the controversies that have plagued its existence, and the impact it has had on the lives of both its devotees and its detractors. Ultimately, this exploration seeks not to provide definitive answers, but to equip you, the reader, with the knowledge and context necessary to form your own informed opinion on this enduring enigma. To understand Scientology, one must first understand the man who created it, Lafayette Ronald Hubbard, better known as L. Ron Hubbard. A prolific science fiction writer, Hubbard published his controversial self-help book, Dianetics: The Modern Science of Mental Health, in 1950. This book, he claimed, held the key to unlocking the full potential of the human mind and achieving a state of spiritual enlightenment he termed clear. Dianetics, the foundation upon which Scientology was built, posits that the human mind is divided into two parts: the analytical mind, capable of rational thought, and the reactive mind, a repository for traumatic memories and subconscious impulses that hinder our true potential. Hubbard believed that these negative experiences, which he called engrams, were the root cause of all psychological and psychosomatic ailments. Dianetics became an instant bestseller, captivating readers with its promise of self-improvement and spiritual liberation. People flocked to Hubbard's lectures and workshops, eager to experience the transformative power of Dianetics firsthand. However, the scientific community met Hubbard's claims with skepticism, dismissing Dianetics as pseudoscience lacking empirical evidence. Undeterred by these criticisms, Hubbard continued to develop his ideas, eventually expanding the scope of Dianetics to encompass a broader spiritual philosophy that he called Scientology. Scientology, meaning knowing how to know in Latin, offers a path to spiritual freedom through structured beliefs and practices. Central to Scientology is the Thetan, an immortal spiritual being separate from the physical body. Auditing, using an e-meter, identifies and addresses engrams, aiming for spiritual liberation. Perhaps no other aspect of Scientology has garnered as much public attention as its celebrity adherents. From Hollywood A-listers like Tom Cruise and John Travolta to musicians and artists, Scientology boasts a roster of high-profile members who credit the organization with improving their lives and careers. The allure of Scientology for celebrities is multifaceted. For some, the promise of spiritual enlightenment and personal growth is a powerful draw, offering solace and guidance in the often chaotic world of fame. Others are attracted to the organization's emphasis on self-improvement and its potential to enhance creativity and performance. Scientology's celebrity centers, which cater specifically to high-profile individuals, provide a sense of community and exclusivity, further solidifying their allegiance. However, the involvement of celebrities in Scientology has also been a source of significant controversy. Critics argue that these famous figures are used as pawns by the organization to legitimize its teachings and deflect from its more controversial aspects. Moreover, the experiences of former celebrity members who have spoken out against Scientology, often at great personal and professional risk, raise serious questions about the organization's practices and its treatment of those who dare to dissent. Section 5. The Price of Belief: Financial Implications and Allegations of Exploitation. Scientology's pay-as-you-go system requires members to pay for courses and auditing sessions, often costing tens of thousands of dollars. Critics argue this is exploitative, pressuring members into debt. Former members report harassment and intimidation for speaking out. These allegations suggest a focus on self-preservation over member well-being. Section 6. Scientology and Mental Health: A Controversial Approach. Scientology's approach to mental health is another area of significant controversy. The organization rejects traditional psychiatry and psychology, viewing them as barbaric and ineffective. Instead, Scientology promotes its own brand of mental health care, known as Dianetics, which claims to address the root causes of psychological distress through auditing and other techniques. Scientology's stance on mental health has been widely criticized by mental health professionals. Critics argue that Dianetics is not a legitimate form of therapy, and that its rejection of traditional mental health treatment can be dangerous, particularly for individuals with serious mental illnesses. There have been numerous reports of individuals associated with Scientology experiencing adverse mental health outcomes, including suicide, after being discouraged from seeking professional help. Moreover, Scientology's belief that mental illness is caused by spiritual rather than biological or environmental factors raises concerns about its potential to stigmatize and shame individuals struggling with mental health issues. By attributing mental illness to past life traumas or spiritual failings, Scientology may discourage individuals from seeking appropriate medical and therapeutic interventions. Section 7. Legal battles and public scrutiny. Scientology's tumultuous history. Since its inception, Scientology has been embroiled in numerous legal battles and controversies, attracting intense scrutiny from governments and law enforcement agencies around the world. The organization has been accused of everything from tax evasion and fraud to human rights abuses and forced confinement. While Scientology has vehemently denied these allegations, maintaining that it is the victim of religious persecution, the sheer volume and severity of these accusations have tarnished its reputation and fueled public distrust. One of the most high-profile legal cases involving Scientology was the 1979 conviction of several of its top officials, including Hubbard's wife, for their roles in Operation Snow White. This covert operation involved the infiltration and theft of documents from government agencies in an attempt to obstruct investigations into the organization's activities. This case, along with numerous other allegations of illegal and unethical behavior, has led many to question the legitimacy of Scientology's claims of religious freedom and its commitment to operating within the bounds of the law. Despite these controversies, Scientology has managed to maintain its legal recognition as a religion in the United States and other countries. However, it continues to face criticism and opposition from former members, anti-cult groups, and individuals concerned about its practices and influence. Section 8. Cult or Religion, Examining the Arguments. The question of whether Scientology is a religion or a cult is a complex one, with valid arguments on both sides. Those who believe that it is a religion point to its established doctrines, rituals, and beliefs in a higher power. They argue that Scientology's teachings offer spiritual guidance and a path to personal enlightenment, fulfilling the criteria of a bona fide religion. Conversely, those who label Scientology as a cult highlight its authoritarian structure, its alleged exploitation of members, and its history of silencing dissent. They argue that Scientology's practices are more akin to mind control than religious freedom, and that its primary motivation is financial gain rather than spiritual growth. Adding to the complexity is the fact that the definition of a cult itself is often subjective and contested. There is no universally accepted definition, and what one person considers a cult, another may view as a legitimate religious movement. This ambiguity makes it difficult to definitively categorize Scientology and leaves the question of its true nature open to interpretation. Section 9. A Legacy of Questions, Scientology's Uncertain Future. As Scientology enters a new chapter in its controversial history, its future remains uncertain. The organization continues to face challenges, including declining membership, increased public scrutiny, and ongoing legal battles. Whether Scientology can overcome these obstacles and maintain its relevance in an increasingly secular world remains to be seen. Despite its troubled past, Scientology has demonstrated a remarkable ability to adapt and survive. The organization has invested heavily in public relations efforts, attempting to rebrand itself as a modern and progressive religion. It has also sought to expand its reach globally, establishing churches and missions in countries around the world. However, the fundamental questions surrounding Scientology's beliefs, practices, and treatment of its members persist. Until these questions are addressed in a transparent and accountable manner, Scientology's legitimacy as a religion will likely remain a subject of debate and controversy. Only time will tell whether Scientology will evolve into a more open and ethical organization or continue down a path of secrecy and suspicion.